The NBA offseason is close to its end now, with most players deserving of a spot already on a team.
What?
Now is the time for NBA teams to lure those players that they want with big bags of dangling money. The NBA offseason allows some players to look for glory, some look for bright lights, and some look to ruin the NBA's parity. This NBA offseason could be the sole reason your team wins a championship. Today, I will be ranking the top 10 teams with the best offseason so far. At number 10, we have a team that's near and dear to my heart, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs come off another second-round exit with pressure building up for them to finally get to the place where so many Cavs fans think their destiny lies. They responded by re-signing sharpshooter Sam Merrill to a cheap 4-year deal. They also traded Isaac Okoro straight up for former Bulls guard Lonzo Ball. From a value trade, it seems like they won that deal. But the biggest loss for them is Ty Jerome, their 6th Man of the Year candidate. While Ball is a much better defender, Jerome's offense off the bench helped thrust Cleveland's offense to number 1 in the league. The only thing that slightly softens the blow is remembering his second-round performance.
Oh my God, bro, I feel it for both of them, honestly.
Oh my Lord. KOG, always a character. Very emotive guy, this one.
At number 9, we have the team that Ty Jerome signed to, the Memphis Grizzlies. Their offseason moves included re-signing Santi Aldama, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Cam Spencer. They added KCP, Ty Jerome, and Jock Landale. The biggest signing for them is Ty Jerome. Signing him for $8 million a year for 3 years is a massive steal, and I'm extremely surprised that he didn't get more money, because he definitely deserves it. The Phoenix Suns are at number 8, not because I think they're good, but solely because things could have been a lot worse. I like the fact that they got lots of young players from this draft, and they got some young prospects from the Kevin Durant trade. I'm not a huge Jalen Green fan, especially not next to Devin Booker, but I can't deny that he does have high upside if he can ever find consistency. Releasing Bradley Beal also could be seen as a good thing because his contract was horrible, one of the worst in the leagues, so getting rid of that is a plus for them. The Milwaukee Bucks fell to the Pacers in round 1 last year and lost Damian Lillard to an Achilles tear. The Bucks released Damian Lillard to make cap space for their new big man, Miles Turner. Miles Turner is using the quote, "If you beat them, join them." I'm assuming he's going to play a similar role to Brook Lopez, but a little more mobile of a defender. Brook, towards the end of his stint with the Bucks, was getting exploited on defense, so we'll see if Miles Turner can help a little more. They also added Cole Anthony and Gary Harris for more offense off the bench. But their biggest test is to convince Giannis to stay in Milwaukee. At number 6, the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic have a chance to jump up in the rankings, with teams like the Celtics and Pacers expected to have a rest year while they wait for their stars to recuperate. They re-signed their star player Paolo Banchero to a 5-year deal, which allows them some runway into building a team around him. They also traded for Desmond Bane, who gives them a reliable scoring on the perimeter, which has been a struggle for Orlando for a bunch of years. If Orlando can start shooting threes at least league average, they will be a significant threat in the East. Tyus Jones also signed to Orlando, and that gives them a great, solid, steadying bench piece. Coming in at number 5, we have the Los Angeles Lakers. Re-signing Luka alone is a great feat in itself, but that's not all the Lakers accomplished this offseason. They also acquired DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart to help boost their roster. DeAndre Ayton has been rotting away in his Portland home, mostly due to ice blocking his driveway. California's sunny weather should allow him to be in the best version of himself, and playing with Luka should create a dynamic lob game. Marcus Smart similarly has been on the rebuilding Washington Wizards and now finds himself on a contending roster once again. He can bring his tenacity to help what was already a good Lakers defense. Coming in at number 4, I have the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks made some sneaky great moves this offseason. The Hawks' main move was to acquire Kristaps Porzingis from the Celtics. They didn't even have to give up too much to get him either. Kristaps' pick and pop with Trae Young should provide consistent ways for them to score. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was also an amazing signing by the Hawks, and if you don't think so, you haven't been watching. Walker is an amazing two-way player and was in the race for the 6th Man of the Year. His defensive chops will help out Atlanta's point of attack defense. But not only that, they also signed Luke Kennard, who is one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. Now into the top 3. I want to remind you, if you did get this far into the video, I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed so that you can keep seeing NBA news and content. Thank you. At number 3 comes the Denver Nuggets. I've loved everything that the Denver Nuggets have done this offseason, and I think that they probably made the best moves when it comes to role players. Re-signing former Nuggets champion Bruce Brown to a cheap deal gives him a nice rotational minutes off the bench. Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr. can be seen as a pretty lateral move. They do free up a lot of cap space by paying him $15 million less than Porter. Jonas Valanciunas' signing also is amazing because the biggest issue with the Nuggets was that their backup big play was horrible when Jokic wasn't out there. Jonas might be able to spot Jokic a couple minutes and make sure that the ship doesn't sink. Tim Hardaway is also there, but I don't have much to say about him. Number 2, the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets got the biggest player acquisition of the offseason by getting 15-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant propels his team into championship contender status, as last year they were the 2nd seed but didn't have a clear leader when it came to the playoffs. Kevin Durant has his chance again to show why he is one of the best players of all time. The other main signings they had was for 3-and-D wing Dorian Finney-Smith, who showed amazing impact on the Lakers last year and can come bring an even bigger impact to the Rockets. Clint Capella's return to Houston also gives them a couple options at the backup big if Steven Adams were to sit out. I really struggled deciding on whether Houston was number 1, but in the end, I had to say it was the Clippers. The Clippers bring in Bradley Beal for cheap from the Suns. Bradley Beal is still one of the most efficient scorers in the game, and getting him on a deal for that cheap is such a great deal for the Clippers. Bradley Beal should come help run the show off the bench with his new teammate Chris Paul. Chris Paul returning to the Clippers for his assumed last year in the NBA is a great story, and I will be rooting for him to win. John Collins is also a very sneaky great acquisition because reportedly, the Jazz had to sit him all last year due to the fact that he was winning them too many games. John Collins hasn't been in the light for the past years in Utah, but don't be surprised if he does have amazing games for the Clippers. Finally, to round it out, the Clippers get a nice rim protector in Brook Lopez, who can also space the floor when Zubac is off. Thank you for watching today's video, and if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and like so YouTube knows you want to see more. That's it for me today. I'll see you later.